So now the challenge is, all right, I'm going to ask you to factorize things, but I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to give you a little sort of head start by telling you something to divide by. You have to work out something to divide by. So this is our next challenge. Now, when we're trying to figure out things to divide by, if you've got some sort of, let's say, a cubic looking like this, trying to use numbers that fit into the last digit usually helps. So what I mean is that what I would try to do is I would try to substitute for x numbers that fit inside this 12. I would also try to choose numbers that would inevitably end up cancelling things out. So one of the first go-tos that we tend to do is we'll tend to do substitute 1 in, see if that will help, because 1 is an easy number to multiply. So it becomes 1 cubed minus 1 squared minus 8 times 1 plus 12. You could probably already see that this is not going to get us anywhere. And that gets us an answer of 4. So therefore, x minus 1 is not a factor. So this is where a little bit of problem-solving strategy will come in. We're trying to think of a number that can fit into 12, that if I substitute, I can knock all of the numbers out to make them equal 0. So I know it has to be a number small enough that, so let's just say the 8 and the 12 can disappear. And then also these up here. But we don't want them too large, because if I was to say 12 is a factor, I'd suddenly get 12 cubed. And that's not going to help us anywhere up here. So I'm leaning towards the number 2, just to see if that will help us. Now, it could also be negative numbers, by the way. It could be 1, it could be negative 1, it could be any of those sorts of things. So let's try 2. So 2 cubed minus 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 12. 8 minus 4 minus 16 plus 12. So there we go. We've got 8 minus 4 is going to be 4 minus 16 plus 12 is going to be equal to negative 4. And there we go, it's equal to 0. Huzzah! So I managed to find that x minus 2 is a factor. Remember that it's minus, so even though it's a positive number in here, that we've got to put this minus in there. That is always the way it works. So that if it was a negative number and it worked, it would be x minus whatever that number was, and then that would obviously be a plus. So we're going to go and do some long division. Now, in theory, you could keep playing that game. You could keep going and finding other numbers that would fit. Or if you're like me, if you find one factor, I'm just totally tired of having to do lots of factors. I want my answers certain. But I know some people much prefer just going to go and substituting numbers in because they really hate long division. I have to say I quite like long division, but that says something more about me than about other people, because I like a process. X cubed divided by x is going to get me x squared. X squared times by x gets me x cubed. X squared times by negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Got to minus these lovelies. X cubed, take away x cubed is 0. Negative x squared minus 2x squared is going to get us x squared minus 8x. X squared divided by x makes it x. X times by x is x squared. X times by negative 2 makes it negative 2x. So x squared take away x squared is going to go and become 0. Negative 8x minus 2x. 2 minuses make a plus. That makes it negative 6x plus 12. And then we want to go and negative 6x divided by x is going to make that negative 6. Negative 6 times by x is negative 6x. Negative 6 times by negative 2 is positive 12. Negative 6x minus negative x is 0. 12 take away 12 is in fact 0. So our answers so far, factorized, that's what the polynomial looks like so far. So can we break up that other factor here into some smaller lovely bits? I think we can. X minus 2. There we go. And that is fully factorized for that polynomial.